Hello, welcome to Story Time. As brief as I can make it, tale of equine intelligence. I've mentioned before, they run from dim to surprisingly intelligent. They can display humor, jealousy, all the things they can get up to. We had an old horse on the farm. You're going to hear a lot of stories about him. Major. He was extraordinarily bright. So, anyways, to cut to the chase, here's the story. We had this little green barn. It had one pane glassed window in it. The window's broken. I'm 10 years old. I dutifully report it to Dad. The window's broken. He's like, you and your crew with your pellet guns and your slingshots. I was like, no, it wasn't it. It was, I don't know what it was. $7 to replace the window. I don't know. A week or 10 days later, it's broken again. The old man's, well, you're in charge here while I'm at work. I'm 10 years old. What? There's kids 15, 16, 17. They got horses and ponies boarded there. If I try and pull rank on them, they hang me on the hooks with the bridles by my underwear, right? What? Dad, come on. Another $7 for the window. So it's like a week later. It's the dog days of summer. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Hot. I'm sitting in the house yard in the shade. The horses are all lined up in the field, sleeping under the big old sugar maple trees. They're having their afternoon nap. I see Major, the extraordinarily bright horse. He wakes up, looks around, doesn't see me. He starts walking around. I'm like, where's he going? The heat of the afternoon, interrupt his nap. He's going to walk all the way around the loafing barn, across the barnyard. I'm watching him. He's going behind the little green barn. So I go snorkeling over, I'm hiding behind a bush looking. What's he doing? There he goes. He goes to the back of the little green barn where the pane glass window is. Looks back, lines it up, checks out the distance. Out with the back 2 hooves, kicks the wall and shatters the window. Turns around, looks at it. He's like, yeah, right on. Okay. He goes plodding back around the little green barn across the barnyard. And when he comes up along the side of the loafing barn, I'm standing there. I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, busted. His head's down. He's like, oh, man, I'm caught. I'm like, yeah, you're caught out. You're my horse. I have to pay for the window. Dad's going to take it out of my allowance. He's like, oh. Major was incredibly smart. I've mentioned before, and I'll just wrap the video up here in summation. A horse herd is led matriarchally. Our herd, there'd be 25 to 30 of them running basically free range around the 60 acres all year round. A little black Shetland pony, Lady, was the undisputed, unchallenged leader in the 15 years I was there. Major was actually smarter than she was, but he's a male and he was a gelding, so he was number 3 in the hierarchy because Lady's daughter Maggie was number 2. He would lead jailbreaks. He adored Lady and Maggie, and he'd lift the gate off its hinges or worry something open, and he'd lead this little midnight jailbreak. He'd take Lady and Maggie across the road and down the street to Grandma's door and knock on the door to get some sugar cubes at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Mom would wake me up, go get the horses. I'd stand down at the end of the street. Hey, busted. They'd just walk back home. I'd repair the thing in the morning. Anyways, as brief a tale as I can make about equine intelligence, we're going to hear a lot of stories about Major and Lady as story time on the farm progresses. Thanks for listening.